fellow creatives, it is your pricing queen Jazz here, bringing you the recipe for success in your freelance business. Just like how adding just the right spices can turn a bland dish into a culinary masterpiece, knowing how to price your services can turn your creative skills into a profitable venture. At my virtual kitchen, the Creative Business Kitchen, I dish out the tips, tricks, and secret ingredients that can help you in your creative, successful freelance business. So come on in, grab a seat, and it's time to cook up a storm of profits together. As a creative freelancer, I'm sure you've been told too many times that you're trying to build a career in an incredibly difficult industry. Well-meaning family and friends may have advised you to break into something a little more, secure, worried that you'll never have enough of a steady paycheck to make it day by day. Now, while freelancing can be a bit of give and take as far as work goes, if you're clever about it and about what you do, it actually doesn't have to be. So I want to introduce you to something that I implemented in my business not so long ago, and that is a creative retainer. Now you might be asking, what's a creative retainer? So there are many different ways to price what you do, and if you're familiar with my work as the pricing queen, you'll know that I have a good idea of what all of those different ones are. So one option I'm particularly passionate about when it comes to how you price your creative genius and the access to it is creative retainers. So this is where a client signs on to work with you for a minimum amount of time or gets a set amount of deliverables and pays a set recurring fee to access that genius. Now, what they receive for that money is based on each client's individual needs. They might be purchasing a specified number of hours per month or a certain quota of deliverables. Some clients know that they need your services on an ongoing basis, but they're not exactly quite sure what that scope is or what exactly they need in advance. This is where a creative retainer may be exactly what they need to hit that sweet spot and satisfy their hunger. Now, creative retainers, when I implemented them in, early 2022, by the end of 2022, I had made almost $98,000 in just creative retainers from two clients. One was on a $5,000 and one was on a $3,800. Each month they had access to my creative genius, and it was perfect for them because we didn't know what the scope was. We didn't know how many ads they'd need in that particular time or what documents they had coming up, but they wanted to have the access to that creative genius to use when they actually needed it. If you haven't introduced creative retainers into your freelance business, I highly recommend that you do so. And if you're not quite sure how to or what is involved in a creative retainer, I would get you to head to this link. I have a free mini guide on how to implement creative retainers into your freelance business. Now, let's dive into the 5 reasons why you need to put a creative retainer on your freelance menu to be able to serve to your clients. So firstly, it actually gives you a really regular paycheck. It kind of almost feels like being employed again. So let's start with the most obvious of reasons. A retainer gives you that steady, reliable income. So while the price the client pays per item or per hour or per deliverable is generally less than what you charge for ad hoc work, the fact that they are in a contract to pay you each month means that you end up with a pretty reliable, predictable profit. Clients who are needing your services so regularly are generally in a position to pay you that actual handsome sum. Now, just because you're offering them a deal for agreeing to a retainer does not mean that you have to work for nothing. The initial contract time is entirely up to you, but having a client sign on for a 3 or 6 month period upfront is actually pretty standard. Now, secondly, it builds and solidifies a priceless relationship. Now, I can guarantee that if you were to ask a successful freelancer what the key ingredient in their success is, they'd say it's building quality relationships. Now, in business, relationships are literally everything. If your toilet broke and your best friend was a plumber, you wouldn't think twice about choosing them to fix it. You want to support them in their business, and you want them to support you in your toilet needs. While I'm not telling you to necessarily invite your clients to join your bridal party, the same concept applies. By building these strong relationships, your clients never doubt your value and worry that you are untrustworthy. As soon as additional jobs arise that you might be able to do, they'll hand it to you without giving it a second thought. It also means that they'll have no hesitation recommending you to others, and before you know it, you've got this thriving freelance career built almost solely on referrals and recommendations. Number 3, it provides opportunities for upsells or add-ons. It can be helpful to think of the client's retainer as the bare minimum you can offer, the very least that you could do. Often people don't realize what they need until they've got that ball rolling. Someone who initially signs up for, say, 20 hours per month may end up realizing that they actually need at least 30 hours per month and can adjust accordingly. This gives you an opportunity to increase those deliverables and therefore the price. The more work that you do for them, the more they may identify other areas of their business that you can help them with and then expand that offering. Sometimes people don't know the variety of skills you have. I've absolutely have clients in the past say, "Oh, you do that too? Why have we never hired you for that?" By working with them closely and regularly on that regular retainer, that expected income, you'll get to know them and their business quite a lot more intimately. And this can open doors for you to do additional work that they may not have even realized you're qualified or experienced in doing. And number 4, it reduces that fluff time. So when I say fluff time, I'm talking about the mind-numbing, time-sucking tasks that you don't directly get paid for. When you're a service-based business, time literally equals money. The number of free discovery calls that don't result in new clients are significantly reduced. Time spent drafting up proposals or quotes that may or may not be accepted can be practically halved. This frees up time and energy to do the things that actually result in you getting paid, or gives you an opportunity to explore or build new ways to build your business or your creativity. And number 5, it makes you more appealing. A freelancer who offers high value retainers actually appears more of a professional and stable in their business. If they're confident enough to lock in someone into that contract for a certain amount of time, then they must have some pretty polished skills and processes. Business is not necessarily the time to be modest. Now, while you certainly need to be humble, honest, and approachable, appearing to lack confidence will actually result in your proposal not being given a second glance. If you're not confident in what you can do and you can fulfill the brief, then why would they be? The clients that you really want generally don't make decisions based on price. They choose freelancers who demonstrate how they can confidently get the job done. It also means that you're given a more of a scope or ability to think about long-term projects or long-term solutions for these clients, and you're invested because you're interested in their business. So if you've been racking your brain on how to turn your business from basic sliced bread to a gourmet dish of French toast, offering value-based retainers may be the missing part of your recipe. I can tell you from the 15 years I've been in business that doing so means you will rarely be without dessert. And when it comes to dessert, I never speak anything but the truth. So if you do want to learn more about creative retainers, how to set and pitch them to your clients, and peek into my own processes of adding almost $100,000 in 2022 from introducing retainers, head to the link in here below to download the free mini guide on pricing creative retainers. Order up! Well, that's a wrap on today's video, my fellow freelance creative. I hope that these pricing strategies have whet your appetite for success. Now, don't stop there. Head on over to creativebusinesskitchen.com to feast on even more resources and tools to help you grow a profitable freelance business. From pricing calculators to marketing cookbooks, projects, prices, and recipes to make your successful freelance business thrive, we've got everything you need to cook up a storm in your creative business. Come join our community and let's turn up the heat on your profits.